Hello, good afternoon from Minneapolis. It is Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. Lunch break here in downtown Minneapolis. Thought I would hop on a live stream, take everybody around for a walk for a bit. So thanks for tuning in. Let's walk around Minneapolis a bit, see what it looks like today. And then in about an hour, I'll head back to work. It is freezing today. The temperature is like 23, 24, I think, so not too cold. But we did have a wind advisory today, which means I think regularly about 20 mile an hour winds, and then gusts are expected up to 50. So could be a pretty chilly one with those winds. I think when I stepped outside, my Apple weather app said that the wind chill was currently at -2. So a lot chillier than the temperature will show you. The real feel or actual feel or whatever really comes down with that wind chill. This is the government center station of the light rail line. We've got Hennepin County Government Center over here, Minneapolis City Hall, with the, well, you can't see it here, the clock tower that is actually larger than Big Ben. Kind of a fun fact there. You can see people staying warm in the bus stop over there waiting for the train. Do I hear one coming? There's a green line headed to St. Paul. I have my indoor shoes on. Forgot to put on, did not factor in a little bit of slick sidewalks today when I got ready for work. Typically I'll ride my bike when if I'm working downtown, and with that wind advisory today, I decided to take the bus instead. I didn't really want to pay for parking, and the bus is pretty quick anyway. Did not factor in slick sidewalks going for more than just a quick walk through from the bus stop. Here's the new public services building. Pretty quiet streets today, as you'd expect. If you can see in the skyways, there's a lot more foot traffic up there. Ever since I've been working downtown, I've been noticing a lot more of how many people do just stick to the skyways. If you walk through the skyways around lunchtime, there's a decent amount of people back downtown. Obviously, unlikely to be meeting the levels of pre-pandemic, but still hard to go a few feet without crossing paths with someone else in the skyways right now. I'm considering doing another, I think about a year ago I did a video walking through the skyways. I'm not sure if I could do like a live up there, because I don't know about moving from each building to building, how that connection would go. I don't know, maybe we'll try walking the skyway a little bit today just to see how that works. I think an updated Skyway video would be cool. It's been a little over a year since the last one, and people seem to watch that. Ooh, that breeze is intense. The Star Tribune building. I feel like I go on walks up to Nicollet Mall quite a bit, so I'm trying to vary my route a bit. Show some slightly different stuff. See the people crossing on their lunch breaks, going from SPS Tower to maybe one of the other spots. So, and then of course someone out in shorts. They're running, so they get a break. But I've already entered the part of the year where I don't really run outside in shorts. I'm already wearing leggings if I'm running, or outside at all. Too chilly for me. This is the Cordia building. It's an energy company. Kind of brutalist structure with the skyway wrapping around it. Always really interesting when those, I don't know if they're smokestacks or steam stacks or what, during the winter when those are puffing out a bunch. Definitely one of the more unique downtown buildings that has sticks out both from a stylistic level and maybe from a land use level. I know they do something involving energy in there, but I don't know a ton about the details. I'll have to look into that sometime. Yeah, if you saw, we got maybe a little over an inch of snow on Monday. I recorded a video riding my bike around on that day. I got this new fat tire bike off Facebook Marketplace for a pretty good deal, so excited to be able to record on that and show some winter biking stuff this year. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. I'd love if there was a way to like categorize videos on YouTube, because I know a lot of people, there's some people who follow the channel for biking stuff, and some people who like the biking infrastructure videos, and some people who could not care less if there was a way to like tag it in or like categorize it as like a biking video so that people who are subbed can just like hide biking content and not have to, whoa, easy. Almost got hit by a car there. They were not paying attention. Oh yeah, if there's a way to prevent people from having to see biking content if they don't want to, and because I don't want to make a whole separate channel for it, because I only do a biking video every couple of weeks or so, I think. I feel like I did a few pretty quickly there, but we'll see. I'll definitely talk about winter biking a bit throughout the winter. The Oaklands on 9th. One of the cooler, older apartment buildings here. Some nice details. $1889. You see the facade on that left bay window there. The Oakland was constructed in 1889 and is the first Minneapolis apartment building designed by master architect Henry Wild Jones. It is recognized to be among the earliest multi-unit residences in Minneapolis, with entrance doors situated along central interior corridors. It is one of the few remaining first-gen apartments distinct for construction of brick and stone. Cool. And they got that light that they try to make it look like it's a candle light to stick with the style. If you look closely at that etching above the door, the word Oakland is carved into it too. Very cool details. Those windows are cool when they're lit up at night too. And then there's the facade. It is obviously December, so holiday season here in Minneapolis. We've got the holiday market going on weekends up there in North Loop. I did a video up there last weekend. I'm considering doing a live one of these weekend or Friday evenings and walking over there and doing a live walkthrough. Looks like we're getting a little snow right now. I still need to do one of St. Paul this year too. The St. Paul winter market there. So that one's the European style market's cool. Very similar to the one here in Minneapolis. Probably a little bigger over there. Minneapolis one is definitely cool, but I would say the St. Paul one I think is a little cooler because it's got more booths, more space. More stuff going on, both very similar styles. One happens to be next to a old transit station, Union Depot, which is beautiful. The other happens to be on this cool new green space by North Loop Green, which I think they've done as good of a job as they can with, but it also happens to be underneath a freeway on-ramp. Woo, that wind is something. I don't know how loud that is for you guys, but that's chapping my face here. Ask for a chrono. That gust is not cool. Alright. There is the Fachet. And on the left, in the center there, is Wells Fargo Tower and the IDS Center. IDS being the tallest in Minneapolis by a few feet. I think Capella Tower and Wells Fargo are both pretty close, but IDS still takes the cake. It is a little under 800 feet, if I remember correctly. I'd love to see some ambitious company try to come in and... Holy cow! There's that breeze that is a reminder of why I did not ride my bike today. Jimmy John's guy is still out on his bike. And that guy's still out on his bike. I just don't like riding in the wind. It's just not fun for me. And like we have this, obviously not the best bus system in the world here in the Twin Cities. We have an okay bus system. Frequency could be improved. I think the line I took today had about 15-minute gaps between each bus, and I was able to get there, and it's an indoor station, so nice and warm. Was not bad at all. Definitely a lot more pleasant than trying to ride against the wind on a day like this. Flagship Target here. Target outside of corporate headquarters. And here's Nicollet Mall. Let's go this way. So the Holodazzle, I don't know how many people are familiar with that, but Holodazzle used to be this parade they used to have in Minneapolis. I think it went down Nicollet Mall. Wait. I don't know, I never attended the actual parade, but I attended the festival for a few years when it was there in Warren Park, and that was always cool. But they have moved it. Last year I think they canceled it altogether. And then this year, they moved it out of Loring Park, and they're going to be doing some sort of festival for about 4 or 5 days here on Nicollet Mall. Dang, that's a cool cloak. I think that's coming up here in mid-December, about the week before Christmas. So that's something to look forward to, as well as the North Loop Green Christmas Market. Alright, let's check out these window displays up ahead at Days. Man, that wind is not fun. I didn't wear my face mask today, so I got a bare face out here in the wind, which is a choice. This is Martin Patrick. They have that store up in North Loop where they have the cool window displays up there that are all made to look like gingerbread houses of Minnesota landmarks, from the Fichet to Mickey's Dining Car in St. Paul and the Landmark Center to Split Rock Lighthouse and the Duluth Lift Bridge. And then you have some chalk art. Holidays on Nicollet, November 14 to December 22, Tuesday to Sunday. Oh yeah, there's this new Minnesota Sports Hall of Fame in the basement here. Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I wonder if we can go in there or they'll stop us for recording. What if we try and the worst thing that happens is they stop us? Here's all the Santa Bear displays. I think people used to collect these bears that were released each year. I don't know if I feel like going in there right now. Solely because I don't know if I feel like walking through a sports museum display with the amount of time we have. What do we have here? Katie. Cool old stuff. The Mustache Cat vintage. Interesting. So whenever I walk through this area in the evening, there's always music playing really loud right here. And I've always felt like maybe that was done. Oh my goodness, look at the little sweaters and little mittens. They're so tiny. They're ornaments. How cute. I've always felt like that was probably done to deter people from trying to sleep along here. And I feel like not playing it during the day only makes me feel that way more. I can't assume the motive of someone else, but it sure feels that way. Well, I guess I can assume someone else's motives, but I choose not to. I think it's best not to. There's Mary Tyler Moore. The question is, how far are we out from a Mary Tyler Moore reboot? We're seeing all these old shows and old movies being redone. I'd be surprised to see someone try to remake a Mary Tyler Moore movie or show or something. I've actually never really watched that show outside of that I can recall. Maybe I saw it on television in passing when I was a kid, but as an adult I haven't watched it, so I don't know much about the storyline or what happens in it. But I've watched the theme video a few times just because of the clips of Minneapolis. Oh, there's the Holodazzle Yeti. I wonder if the Yeti will be out here on Nicollet Mall. The downtown, I don't know if it was a downtown council or Meet Minneapolis or My Minneapolis Downtown, I don't know what it's called. One of these city groups released last week this comprehensive plan to revitalize downtown by 2035 with all these different ideas of what to do to bring more people downtown, and lots of stuff such as more vibrant storefronts and kind of innovative things such as adding an indoor playground into the Skyway system, making it more family friendly, making it more appealing to people outside of the business class as we watch the business class move away from downtowns. Which, these ideas are great and I'd love to see them brought to life. But we will see. I think working to get those Skyway hours so it's this connecting place where it's open a little bit later, open on weekends. We do have, I think, the longest connected Skyway system in the United States or something. I want to say Toronto's is longer at this point. But the maps inside the Skyways are not updated, so they don't include some of the newer gaps. Well, I guess not gaps, but newer connections. So it might be worthwhile to update those and take some steps to make the Skyway more easily accessible to the average pedestrian and more welcoming to people outside of the business class. So you do have this valuable resource, and there's all sorts of as much as the Skyways I'm sure are different than people who have lived here for decades remember. I'm sure there's a heyday of the Skyways in the 70s or 80s, early 90s, and the heyday of retail shopping. There are still a lot of interesting businesses and unique restaurants in there that are worth checking out. Just finding a way to get more people in those and getting them more business to keep them operating would be very valuable. I've been working downtown a little bit more over the last few months. I've enjoyed exploring the Skyways a little bit more and getting to know them and becoming more familiar with it. One of the big things included in that Nicollet and downtown Minneapolis new plan was something they've talked about. All these things I think that have been discussed here and there a bit, but this is just a comprehensive plan, was to remove buses from Nicollet Mall, so make it completely pedestrianized, which I don't have a major issue with as long as all the routes are moving within a block or so it's not too far for the people who rely on the buses. Another one is to increase public seating and have these public spaces, which I think is a huge one for during winter. I mean, you have these benches right here, which is fine. So I mean during summer, and having more outdoor cafes and storefronts that people can pull up to and sit in and hang out in. But it's hard for me to take it seriously when you have seating such as outside of the beautiful uh, Hennepin Central Library right here, and the seating outside of it is still fenced off. Like if you're serious about something, start today. It doesn't make sense to keep waiting. If we want people to have a place to sit outside on Nicollet Mall, you have these benches right here, which I'd love to sit on. But it feels pretty private to me with the no loitering and no trespassing signs. I am not likely to be stopped sitting right here, I don't feel. But I think those signs will be enforced at their discretion, which typically means booting out the unhoused community. But yeah, I mean, I love a lot of the ideas in that plan, but really, if you're serious, start today. You know, there's a fence right here you could bring down tomorrow, and if you're upset about what people are doing behind that fence, which I get it, I go to the Hennepin Central Library sometimes here, and I understand that the children's center is right here on that first level, so the kids area is there, and if people are, you know, unfortunately what you see sometimes is if people were sitting around and doing drugs or something right outside there, like that's not something the average person wants their kid to see. So you got to make sure that stuff isn't happening right there on your streets, but I don't think the solution is blocking off the seating altogether, especially if you think your plan for bringing back downtown involves more seating. That's my 2 cents on it, but I'm more of a act now, sort out the details later type person. We are currently walking along 4th Street at Marquette. You can see US Bank Stadium in the distance, the tower of City Hall. I always want to take 5th, but I also like to try to switch things up a bit. Nice little light snow today, not bad. I do recall this morning when I was looking at the forecast, there were concerns that it might be a little above freezing when this moved in, which would cause it to be like freezing rain as opposed to snow. So surprisingly convenient. I don't mind a little bit of snow when I'm walking. Rain is much more uncomfortable for me. It's the old, I believe this was I do not recall the name of the bank that it was. Oh, there's a sign on the thing over there. This used to be a bank and it has now been transformed into a cabaret. From my understanding, there are parts of the bank that have been kept in there in the lobby. It's kind of a historic spot. Go see a little dancer if you'd like. The more I've walked through the Skyway since I've been downtown the more I realize how little stuff there is that I've seen on the internet. I don't use TikTok, so I don't know if there's a TikToker there yet that is focusing on the Minneapolis Skyways, but I feel like there's potential there for someone who wants to make an account highlighting all the businesses in the Skyway, highlighting the different stuff to do in the Skyway. That requires a lot of time and money, which I do not have. I mean, I guess I could spend the same amount of time I spend recording this video making a short clip about some business in the Skyway, but I kind of prefer long form, and I like giving these city views, city walks. The fast transitions and stuff kind of give me a headache. I love a lot of the cool videos you see online where people will take all these different clips, but sometimes you're jumping around like after 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, and I like to have a nice 4 or 5 seconds on at least every spot, because hey, I was looking at that before you jumped away. But that's just my preference. I know a lot of people prefer hopping around and seeing different stuff quickly.
Third Avenue South. One side is on the cross. Third Avenue South. Third Avenue
Here outside of the Minneapolis courthouse, we got these guys mowing the grass, raking the grass, keeping things nice for us. We really appreciate those two. Where would we be without them? And they're all throughout this little area. Kind of fun little sculptures. Oh God, oh God, oh God. What's happening? It's over. Everyone run for cover. All right, so now that the siren has ended, that is merely a test. Every first Wednesday of the month at 1 p.m., they blast those sirens as a test of the system. Very, very unsettling, to say the least. Good to be prepared and good to know what to listen for. I always love when there's a big event going on in town, whether it's, a sporting event or... Oh, we're doing it a second time again. Sometimes they do it twice. All right, so after we've sirened a little second run there, it's always fun when there are people visiting Minneapolis who are unaware of what's about to happen, and occasionally you'll see like a big national reporter in town or something who's here covering some sort of story, and then that'll go off and they're like, what's happening here? Am I in danger? But no storm danger, no emergency going on right now, to our knowledge. It is just our monthly test. Oh, I wanted to go up to the Commons Park and then turn. Oh well. See the armory here on the left. Whoa! Parking ramp on the right. The armory currently being a concert and event space. Used to be a armory, and then was a stadium for, I think, the Minneapolis Lakers, now of Los Angeles, used to play their basketball games there. There's some cool WPA era artwork inside there. If you ever have the chance to look around inside, a very cool building, very cool spot to see a concert. Shout out their house photographer, Andrew of North Star Imagery. If you're an Instagram user and enjoy concert photography, he does a fantastic job. North Star Imagery, give him a follow. Really great guy. I think he does other stuff. If you want to hire him too, he'll take photos for you. Wonder what's going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Police lined up for more. Maybe something inside the armory. Maybe there's some sort of police event going on there or something. Or it's an emergency, who knows. So there's another one out front. You would be surprised how often I get angry emails from people who watch these videos and have all sorts of things to say about Minneapolis and defunding police or this or that. Police right there. They say Minneapolis has gone to hell because there's no police. I see police. I don't know what you're talking about. You can have your opinions about the city or things that are being done here, but police officers definitely exist. But people get their news and opinions from all sorts of different sources who want us to feel certain ways about this or that or have certain agendas. As do I. We're all influenced and biased in our own ways. There's another kind of fun newer building, the Thrivent building here. The Lutheran Financial Services. They used to be, I think, in that kind of copper glass building, copper colored glass behind them. And they moved in here about a year and a half ago when they opened up this new building. And it's nice, fits in fine. One of the cool things about this is that I read about a while back was that they had a art curator for the building. So they hired someone to works full time, I think, curating the art for their building. Which interesting that there's that much demand for it. Maybe I misread it. That much turnover in the artwork. But yeah, if you look at videos. I don't remember when I recorded it, but there's a video that I started right around here about 2 years ago, and I walked through here. This was all under construction, and they were still putting up everything. I don't think the glass was in yet. Kind of cool watching these things come to life. Watching the hard work of so many individuals come together. Build something new in our city. Always can't help but laugh at these. There's this seating out here outside of Moment, this apartment building. random music lyrics. The rest is still unwritten. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. So you got the Beatles there. And then you got Hey Now You're an All-Star. Don't believe me, just watch. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I feel like some of these do not, I hope you have the time of your life. I feel like some of these do not hold the weight of some of the other ones, but that is up to the discretion of the artist. And I feel like I recognize most of these. So you have these classics, and then you got Sunshine in My Pocket, got that Good Soul in My Feet, which is like, some of these are less than a decade old. Others are significantly older and have stood the test of time and maintained their relevance. I saw this Instagram reel yesterday as I was laying down, mindlessly scrolling at some point in the day, and it was like these two young kids. I don't know how young they are, probably in their 20s, I think. Yeah, so they were 26 or something. There's two kids that were born in 1998, if I remember correctly. That'd make them 26 now. And they would play a clip of the song, of these different songs, and it was like, how many millennial songs do you know or something? And these kids recognized, I think, one of the 10. And like, obviously I'm a little older, so I recognize most of them, and I recognized all of them. But it's interesting to see how those, how some of the songs that I thought were more long-term relevant and thought would likely last longer, these younger kids didn't know, and the ones that do end up standing the test of time. Always interesting. What are we jackhammering away at over here? Oh, probably up there. Well, it's been almost an hour. I'm almost at least somewhat close to the office here, so that will probably about wrap up my little lunch walk today. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Kind of quiet one in the chat, but we persist. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more, subscribe. If you didn't, good luck finding what you're looking for. If I knew what it was, I'd send you right there right now. But yeah, this is walking Minnesota. I walk around mostly Minneapolis, but try to get throughout the state of Minnesota, show pre-recorded and sometimes live looks at the city. If you're in the chat, I'll chat with you about whatever. If you're in the comments, I'll try to reply and get back to you. I check them every couple days at least. Let's get kicked out of the Skyway. Either that or I'll turn it off here, but I'm gonna go inside the Skyway for a minute and see what kind of service we get in there. as we approach that hour mark of when I should probably be getting back to my desk. We have the Turf Club at SPS Tower. I wonder if they have a clown room in the basement. You got the new Fragment coffee coming in the Skyway here. Now we're in the Skyway. Oh, I forgot there's music playing in the Skyway sometimes. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get back to work here in a few minutes, but thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day. Hope to have you watch it another time if you enjoyed it. If you're watching along right now, you need to get in the chat next time. I'm bored and lonely. I need you chatting with me. No, I'll be fine on my own. All right, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching.